can't see anything. I can't see him at all. What time did we say? No idea. Welcome then to a final festive After the Flag at the end of 2008. No Matthew Roberts to join us this time. That's unfortunate. But my director tells us that we've got a suitable replacement here in Albert. How are you doing? Yeah. Okay. Well, we started the year back up on the top of the hill here in Barcelona, reviewing the first race in Qatar. So we thought we'd come down to the bottom of the hill, especially it's all clouded over up there, so you won't be able to see anything anyway. Just to take a look back at the year and what's gone on. It's been an intriguing season, as you'll probably know, but if you have been living in a shed or maybe underground, these are the main headlines from 2008. We can't do this with him. He can't speak a word of English. He looks like an extra from Oliver Twist. In MotoGP, Valentino Rossi was back on top of the world for the first time since 2005. A fantastic season that saw him win 9 races, Rossi King once again. In 250s, it was a surprise first World Championship for Marco Simoncelli, the hair monster. Despite a spirited fight back from Alvaro Bautista, the Italian won through on the end on the Italian Gilera machine. Finally, a very consistent season from Frenchman Mike DiMeglio for his first World Championship, the first by a Frenchman since 2002. He will move up to 250s for an exciting year next year. So that's what's happened then during the season, but you knew all that already. Since the final race in Valencia, there's been lots going on, both on and off track. Of course, there have been tests in Valencia and in Jerez, of course. Valentino Rossi topped those final tests of the season in Jerez. Of course, then he went off to do the World Rally Championship as well and finished quite impressively there too. Casey Stoner, of course, has been operated on, and he was actually down at the test in Jerez. Says that everything is going well with that operation, so we should see him back fighting fit at the beginning of next season. Of course, there's lots of testing to go on that Ducati, and that's mainly been at the hands of Nicky Hayden. Of course, Nicolo Canepa and Mika Kali also been riding that bike, but Nicky Hayden, while he had a couple of struggles when he first got on the bike, looking impressive. 6th fastest, wasn't he, at the end of that test in Jerez as well. There's also been Danny Pedrosa and Andrea Dovizioso, a bit of talk about how that relationship's going to go on between the two of them. And then operations also for Sete Gibernau, John Hopkins, Tony Elias. They've all had all sorts of metal removed from their body, so they're going to hoping to be back in full condition when the season gets underway. But now there's a testing ban. There's going to be no action on track until the end of January, or really the beginning of February, before things get going again. Of course, the season starts in April the 12th. Now, we talked throughout the year about our top 5 riders of the week, and we thought, well, we've got to put together a top 5 riders of the season. See if this 5 match your choices for the year. At 5, Rookie of the Year, Jorge Lorenzo. Pole in the first 3 races of the season. Went on to take a first win in Estoril as well. What a year it was from the Spanish youngster. Another youngster, but this one was defending the World Championship. Casey Stoner had some troubles at the beginning of the year with his Ducati, but fought back in fine fashion to take the runners-up spot and defend his title admirably. Mike DiMeglio took his first World Championship, and he's our 3rd rider in our top 5. A brilliantly consistent year against some hard riders in Corsi and Talmasci. And Marco Simoncelli also had to battle with some of the best, but he takes his first World Championship. The man from Cattolica with the hair that no one's ever going to forget. But there can only be number 1, and it has to be Valentino Rossi. A brilliant season from the Italian. His 6th championship in MotoGP, 8th World Championship overall. The Doctor was king once more. Probably a few of you out there who don't agree with some of our choices there, but as ever, we'll welcome your opinions, so please send them in to us. Now, we talked about the Rookie of the Year there, Jorge Lorenzo. What a year he did have, and he may feature once or twice in this, our top 5 crashes. I don't know whether it should be top 5 or worst 5 crashes of the season, really. This crash may not have been one of the most spectacular, but at one of the fastest points on the fastest circuit in MotoGP. a very hairy, scary moment for Valentino Rossi. At 4, the first of Jorge Lorenzo's huge crashes. This was at Laguna Seca. Flies off on the first lap of the race. Happened a few times for Lorenzo and damaged his ankles once more. John Hopkins had this horror crash at Aston that really set back the whole of his season. Suffering back injuries after this one. The bike almost cleared the perimeter fence as well. That was a horrific smash for him. And Dani Pedrosa just watched the bike in this one. He was leading the race in Sachsenring and smashes into the tyre barrier at turn 1. This really did put pay to Pedrosa's title aspirations, leading the race by 6 seconds. And this was a huge crash for him at the German race. Smashing into the tyre barriers too. Some amazing photos of that one. Just look at how he tumbled through the gravel. Thank goodness for runoffs. But this, of course, is the moment most people remember in terms of crashes in 2008. A huge high side for Jorge Lorenzo in the China race, breaking both his ankles. Although he went on to finish 4th in that race, it really would upset his rhythm in the middle part of the season. Jorge Lorenzo crash still sends shivers down my spine, but thankfully he came back and did have a fantastic season, we have to say, Jorge Lorenzo. Now, we know those were only the crashes in MotoGP. Of course, there were lots more in the other classes, but 2 really that stood out for us. Of course, this first one from Hector Barbero, remember this? Down the front straight in Mugello, bit of a tangle with Marco Simoncelli, battling for victory, and down he went. He was so lucky to walk away from that pretty much unscathed, Hector Barbero. And that niggle with Marco Simoncelli rumbled on, didn't it, till the end of the season. And I'm sure it will again in 2009. Another man who had a huge off was Yuki Takahashi. This one was very similar, wasn't it, to Jorge Lorenzo's at China. Takahashi did recover from that, and in 2009, of course, he will be moving to MotoGP. It's not been easy in testing for Takahashi so far, but sure we'll get lots more time testing before the season proper begins. Now, competition time. Remember last time out in Valencia, we had that head of Andrea Dovizioso, and the question was, what was his race number in the 125 and 250cc classes? The correct answer was 34. We also gave the option of 4 or 46. Now 34 he did used to run, but he couldn't in MotoGP because it's been retired by Kevin Schwantz when he retired from the sport. And it's not usable by anyone in MotoGP. Only 2 numbers actually, 34 and 74, not allowed to be used. So that's why he runs with 4 now. We got quite a lot of answers saying 4, even some that said 46. But the man who takes that Andrea Dovizioso head, I'm not sure what you're going to do with it at all, is Declan Keane from Bridgend in Wales. We'll also throw in actually a MotoGP 08 game from Capcom. Send us what you want, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation. Just let us know what platform you'd like it on and we'll send that through to you. Now, it wasn't a season that went down to the wire in Valencia, but it was still a season of high drama, lots of intense moments, and these are our top 5 high points of the year. First up at 5, the moment Jorge Lorenzo announced his arrival into the top level of motorcycle racing. This move up inside his teammate Valentino Rossi on the way to his first victory in Estoril just lined us up for what was a fantastic year from the rookie. Another rookie, Andrea Dovizioso, in the first race at Qatar, had the audacity to stuff it up the inside. From one Italian to another, Dovizioso on Rossi. And what about this save from Jorge Lorenzo in China? 2 broken ankles, but still managing to stay on the bike. That's at 3. Save of the season has to go to Colin Edwards for this at turn 1 in Jerez. Elbow, knee, all down. And a little wave to the crowd as well to acknowledge just what he'd done. But this surely is the moment of the year. Exciting action, paint swapping, fairing bashing at Laguna Seca between the reigning world champion Stoner and the to-be world champion Valentino Rossi. Such thrilling stuff at Laguna. Of course, it wasn't just that moment in the race, it was the entire Laguna Seca event. Was a brilliant occasion, and it really was a turning point, wasn't it, for the 2008 season. Valentino Rossi went on to win the championship by the end of the year, and that's it, really. The end of the season, the end of After the Flag for 2008, and My director's reminding me again. I thought we've got away with it. These are some of the quite embarrassing outtakes from After the Flag this year. Hi. Sorry.
Hi.
Welcome to After the Flag. Does that work?
You know his whole career, Nick, and it was. Oh, sorry, we got the waiters here. Hang on a minute.
Finally. Man this week, and he's down at the back of his pit garage in Gasoline Alley with gasoline
You're
cab.
going to see it. No, don't record. Get your hand away.
What?
Lucky putt. I've got a little bit of a sweaty bead on. Morning after bead.
This is the final After the Flag of the season.
Yeah, it's a little bit more relaxed.
behind the scenes footage. This is how me and Gav psych ourselves up for the program. Come on, Gav. What do you think? La 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 la.
Post-season testing in Valencia. Matt, we started. We feel like competition winner from last time out. Now the question was,
I feel how he looks. Legless.
Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up, and that's the paranoid. Yeah. You guys are well for choice, right? Apparently. Do you want to take it in?
So an eventful weekend then for some of the youngest members of the paddock, as it was for one of the more experienced. Here's Nick Harris with his highlights.
Twice he overtook Valentino Rossi. Great for British racing. 6th place, could have even been on the podium.
now that really is all we've got time for in this special edition After the Flag. We hope you've enjoyed the 2008 MotoGP season. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of it as well. To all those of you who've downloaded at iTunes, who've watched it at YouTube, and of course at MotoGP.com, thank you ever so much. You can continue to keep up with all the news, action interviews from all the tests at MotoGP.com over the holiday period, and hope to see you back when the season begins in Qatar on April the 12th. Thanks very much. Goodbye.